All right. Welcome to another edition of Cricket Wana. We have Vinay and Somu with me, Kashyap. And thank you, Sridhara, for the platform. So as we all know, we are almost halfway to IPL 2021. Every team has played 6 games and 2 teams have played their 7th game today. So, 3 more games and we are exactly halfway there. And as you all know, Chennai, Delhi, and Bangalore are in the top 3, quite separated from the bottom 5. Although, I mean, it's risky to add Mumbai as in bottom 5, but we'll talk about that too. But yeah, I mean, top 3 are in 10 points each. And then the 4th one is only 6 points, and then 4, 4, 4, and 2 with Kolkata, Punjab, Rajasthan, and Hyderabad surprisingly have been. Hyderabad and Kolkata, I don't know how Kolkata has 2 wins as well, 2 out of 7. So I mean,
Hyderabad is the one which is
yeah. So let's make it a little different. Instead of just going through the numbers and the tables and other things, I want to start with Somu. What's been one refreshing, eye-catching thing about this IPL so far?
So far, the underdog cricketers, not the team, are doing extremely well. Avesh Khan, okay, that young kid, whatever his name is, Rajasthan Royals kid, very good. And some of the batsmen are doing really well. I mean, I didn't expect CS. I mean, even opener, left-hander. I mean, those are the thing which is heartening to me, which is very good. And the thing is, especially after what happened in Brisbane with the young cricketers bringing the glory to India, I think it's it's very, very good news for all of us. I think we don't have to depend on the Bumrahs of the industry or Shamis of the industry or anybody.
Well, it's not just the bowlers. If you think about it, even Kohli and Rohit Sharma and Raina and all the usual suspects in batting are also...
They're not getting runs at all.
But you have Ruturaj Gaikwad, you have Devdutt Padikkal, and then of course Faf and ABD and Maxwell. Maxwell is doing. I mean, considering what Maxwell has done over the past years, it's a big news that Maxwell is actually consistent.
Yeah, look, I mean, they were all big names. They're expected to do, and they're doing well. That's good thing. But Nange, young cricketers, my goodness, they're not afraid of anything.
Yeah,
they're bowling well, they're batting well. I tell you, you know what? The Tripathi guy comes at number 3.
Tripathi, for me personally, he is one of the best openers for IPL. I mean, I don't think he's ready for the international level. Maybe not. I don't know. But whenever he has 5 or 6 50s so far in the IPL the last 4 or 5 years, and all but one have come when he has opened. And I mean, he had an amazing season when Pune, reached the finals in 2017. That was
correct,
I think. But so I don't know why. I mean, that's also one big strategic error from KKR. I feel that both Rana and Gill has not taken off at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, even Rana, for that 180 or something he scored, his strike rate has been under 120, and Gill is under 105 or something.
105, yeah. He's not even getting runs. Forget about the strike rate. He's not even getting. Ivattu, I mean, the second game on
30, 40 madidane, but it's still almost run a ball.
Yeah.
So then it's adding a lot of pressure on Tripathi, Morgan, and Russell and Karthik.
Yeah.
I think they should juggle it. I still believe it's a very good team, but
I think so too.
Yeah, but I mean, my early prediction has come completely off the wheels now already. I had KKR in my top 4. I had Prithvi Shah in my orange cap, but I mean, he's back 3rd or 4th. I think he did well today. And then I was expecting a lot from Shardul Thakur by the kind of season he had, and Sundar.
Yeah.
So Sundar and Shardul Thakur are like nowhere in the picture.
They're not even. Yeah, they're not. I mean, Sundar may even get dropped next game. Who knows? I don't know. So Shardul has picked up an odd wicket here and there. Sundar has not done much at all. And the sad part is, on 3 bandaga, he has not gotten runs at all. He's getting out
single 6 at all. So
yeah, I think.
And
I think,
one more confusing thing for me with Sundar is he was so successful last year in power play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he's not being given the ball at all. Is it, I don't know if there is something that they found that is different from UAE versus India, but every other team is using spinners successfully in the power play. I don't know. But yes, I see Siraj and Kyle Jamieson are doing very good.
Very good.
They should try it out with Sundar as well because he did great last year.
Yeah. I was surprised Saini got only one game so far. Obviously they have a very good bowling attack, but Saini got one. I was very happy with the batting of these young ones. And the surprising thing, the other thing was the kid from Bombay, left-hander, he's not getting any runs except that first innings. He's not getting runs at all. What's his name? Left-hander. Mumbai 11, who comes number 5? Ishan Kishan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in Mumbai.
He's not getting runs. That's another thing.
Kishan, Surya is not firing. So I think that's
Surya is not firing in the last.
The whole Mumbai batting is failing. I think, their bowlers.
And Hardik Pandya is a total failure.
Hardik Pandya, ivat adle. I think they dropped him today, right?
No, he was in the team. He didn't bat.
Yeah, Ishan Kishan was dropped. Their batting. One match ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರು either 40-50 ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, either Rohit or Surya, maybe Quinton, but but it's a long tournament. It's very, very.
You know what? I'm seeing the points table here on the IPL thing. Okay, but CSK 5 greens. I never would expect that.
That was another prediction gone wrong for me. Like I
totally
thought
gone wrong.
He's also out of it. But now, okay, let me ask this question now. Do you see any of these top 3, Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi, any of these 3 not to qualify in the end?
Who? Yeah, the top 3 you're talking RCB, Delhi, and CSK.
CSK. I feel that all 3 are through, but anything can happen. And if any one team has the knack of, bottling it up and getting out, it has to be Bangalore. But I think Bangalore is doing really good this season.
I don't know whether you saw yesterday or day before, ABD's innings. Did anybody see that?
Yeah.
I tell you, my goodness.
That was
I'm surprised how he can hit those balls the way he hit. And it's almost, it's almost inhuman. It's really the way he batted. Oh my God.
It's the butterfly effect. If you see, because there was Rajat Patidar and Maxwell Maxwell for a bit, maybe who was already hitting in the middle overs, they have to hold back Amit Mishra from not completing his 4th over.
Correct.
Middle, which then it's a butterfly effect. Because of that fear, they did not go through with Amit Mishra's 4th over, but then it kind of caught them off guard, and they finished everyone else's 4 overs quota.
Yeah.
So they ended up bowling Stoinis for the first time in the 20th over, which got them 23 runs for RCB.
23 runs.
So just that AB fear factor.
Yeah.
I think it's also the fresh captain. Maybe if it was Rohit Sharma or Dhoni, they would have managed it differently.
But yeah, that was the thing that it bothered me, because I don't care. Stoin is a decent bowler, but he's not a 20th over bowler for sure. And especially the first over.
Yeah, if you didn't want to bowl Amit Mishra's 4th over, you should have got Stoinis in like 16th or 17th.
15th, 16th. Not the 20th though. I think that immaturity, obviously, he will learn from that. And that was, oh my God. He puts a fear in you. He cannot. Oh my goodness. What an innings that was.
I was looking between over 16 to 20 in last 3-4 years. AB is way ahead of everybody in the entire league. Going at like 220 plus strike rate, and he rarely gets out. So that was an amazing innings. And
the only thing that I was surprised he got out for Akshar Patel, bowled. Maxwell both got bowled in the span of 2 overs or something like that.
Yeah.
That was kind of, oh my goodness. But I tell you,
So if you are going to talk about RCB and all the great things they have been doing, there is one super aberration we saw with RCB was Sir Jadeja.
Oh boy, what a did you watch that innings?
Yeah, one loss from RCB, and this man was all over the place. By hitting sixes in the last over to getting wickets and
catching, run out, what name it,
and catch and everything. So
yeah.
So in a way, it was good. I felt that it can't get worse than that for RCB.
No.
In terms of the way they were humiliated. But man, RCB, CSK is also in a different.
Honestly, I think it was an aberration in my opinion. That match was an aberration. I don't think anybody would score 37 runs again, even if you just put the ball in the air. And also, Akshar Patel. Not Akshar Patel. Jadeja hitting that much and getting those wickets. Yeah. My goodness.
Harshal Patel has a new nickname, Purple Patel. Because of the
Purple Patel. Oh my God. Wow.
Okay. One other thing. So after the Chennai game, one thing I was impressed by Kohli's. Kohli's captaincy was actually brilliant in Delhi game as well. But even before that game, a 2 year prior, a 2 years younger Kohli or RCB for that matter may have dropped Harshal Patel after the 37 run over, or maybe even thought of dropping the idea of bowling Harshal at the death because how bad it was. But I was so impressed that they saw it as an aberration and trusted him to come back and bowl 3 overs in the last 6 of the Delhi innings. I think he bowled 14, 16, 15, 17, and 19 or something.
15, 17, 19, yeah.
Yeah. So that was great. RCB trusting their, the players with the roles and saying that, okay, yeah, this can happen, but we still know you are the best for this. Hetmeyer might have, hit him again and we could have lost it, but I was so happy that they did it. And also for the 20th over, another thing, Siraj had gone 32 runs for 3 overs. While Daniel Sams had gone for only 15 in 2 overs.
Yeah.
So, so it was only between these two. Everyone else had bowled their quota. It was Sams and Siraj for the 20th over. And I think even 9 out of 10 times, even I would have gone with Daniel Sams saying, yeah, he has controlled this, at least today. But it was a great backing. And I think it will boost the confidence of Siraj and also Indian mindset that they went back to Siraj saying, okay, I think you are the best for this situation. So he forgot the past and said, okay, 1 over 13 runs with Pant and this guy. I think since both were left-handers, I think they instead of having a left-arm seamer, it was a great calculation. And I think
look, let me tell you why it happened. Obviously Kohli knew what he was doing. That's enough. That's the first part of it. Second part of it is the wicket was a little different. Let's start with that. Okay. Right. It was not the same wicket what they got clobbered for 37 runs. That's one thing. Yes. And there was no Jadeja again, and there was not somebody, a power hitter like him who could. And what they did more than that, forget about the aberration part of it. They are sticking to the roles that's been assigned to each of the player, and every time they come, that's a fresh day. They are not thinking about anything what happened in the previous game, previous day, previous week. But today is a fresh day. This is the role. This is what you have to fulfill the role. Exactly. I think that is the way they're going, and that's why it's working.
Exactly. Yeah. That was my point too. I think they have that clarity in mind, which was lacking this RCB for last 13 years. So I think credit to Katic and Hessen as well.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
From scouting and even auction, they did great in auction. I'm really looking forward to how they will, handle this mega auction next year when they have to almost rebuild the team. We will talk about it later after the end of IPL as well, and see, who maybe who gets retained, or depending on the
They have like what, 2 or 3 they can retain, right?
I don't know. So the policy can change. So because there are 2 more new teams most likely being added, the rules will change a lot. I think it will be unprecedented. So we don't know what happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Usually,
AB Maxi and Virat may not play together at all.
You never know. So Vinay, I will ask you this one then. What's been a disappointing point about this IPL, or something that you wanted to see but it's not happening, or something that you want to see maybe in the second half?
There's a couple things that come to mind. I think disappointing for me from the team's perspective, players' perspective. There's such talent in like Hyderabad and Punjab and stuff, but they're just underperforming. And I don't mean that in a biased perspective, like, oh, they should be at the top of the table or something. With the amount of talent there is, I thought the table would be a lot tighter. And I hope it gets tighter over the next, this middle stage of the tournament, because with the top 3 teams running away, if this continues for another 2 weeks, not even 1 week, it's a foregone conclusion, and that makes the whole tournament kind of just the charm is gone, and I don't want that. And so one disappointment for me is just the amount of talent at the bottom of the table that's not really panning out. That's one thing I'll say. The second thing I'll say is just the disappointment over, and I don't blame them for this, but the disappointment over the current situation in India having all of these players depart, especially overseas players, because then there's, not that people would do this, but you can always play the what if game, oh, if we had this player, that player, if they, this person, that person, whatever, we could have done better. I don't want this to be kind of like a neutered or like a watered down version of the tournament, and I don't want there to be an asterisk for whoever wins or whatever happens, right? And the way that things are going now, I think it's a little disappointing to see that all the teams cannot be at full strength, because if they're at full strength, even prior to people pulling out because of COVID, just look at people like Stokes and Archer not being on RR, injury and this and that and whatever. It's not fun, right? You want everybody to be, healthy, fully, ramped up and playing their best cricket to see the best cricket, So I'd say those are the 2 disappointments for me, is the table isn't as tight as I thought it would be, especially for the bottom teams and their skill level. And then secondly, the amount of people falling off, the rosters, and even umpires now, right? Paul Rifle and Nitin Menon or whatever, both not there. So it's.
But Rifle stayed back.
He stayed back?
Yeah, he stayed back.
Okay, so we'll see, but that is definitely a sore point or disappointment for me. So
yeah, it's the same here.
You know what? I want to add one more thing. I mean, it has nothing to do with the COVID or whatever. I think I expected Warner, the game they lost in the Super Over was, I think he made a very calculated wrong mistake, in my opinion. 2 things in there. One, though, he should have sent him number 3. He did not. Captain of this thing, New Zealand. He did not come number 3 he came later, but he got runs. Forget about that. Then the second thing is, he should not have opened at all. I would have put Bairstow in there because he was way too tired and he couldn't hit like Bairstow can hit. What he wants, I know he had played 5, 6, 7 overs before, and he was very tired, and he couldn't have hit like Bairstow. Bairstow was fresh. He can really hit. I think they lost out on that tremendously, in my opinion.
I think it was it was 2 things. One, I feel Warner should not have come for the Super Over because he's been out of form. So he had a 50 the game after the Super Over. Today. Not today, the one previous. But his, I would have gone with Kane and Bairstow, because Bairstow was, Bairstow was really good in the power play, and yes, he got out. And then Kane was, yes, he was a bit tired, but he had that momentum. He was
correct. But the reason I'm telling you, Warren should have come on there, left-right combination,
left right. I
Since
think
Akshar would, nobody knew Akshar would bowl. Let's face it.
no.
Assume.
I think that's where I was going. I think the other point was because Akshar has Wood over Bairstow. Like,
Yeah.
He toiled with Bairstow in the Test series recently.
Correct. But this is 2020, mind you.
I know. But I mean, I think it was also driven by that. And because it was a left-arm spinner, they thought, let's have a right and left combo. But then, yeah, I mean, it was, and then forget everything. If he had completed that one run and not short.
Yes. I mean, who knew? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And, that was one thing which was disappointing to me. And then overall disappointment with Stokes gone, Archer not playing, Kane Richardson leaving, Zampa leaving, whoever leaving, whatever the part is. This is the last tournament, IPL tournament, where everybody was good. All the lot of good players fitted in one team versus 10 teams now.
Yeah.
Next year it's get diluted.
You never know. I mean, it depends on how smart you go through
but still, it's a dilution, right? No matter how you look at it, they have to be distributed among 10 versus 8. That means 8 top players will be playing for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
See, then I wanted the Stokes and the Archers and all these people. You won't have the same thing.
Ashwin volunteered to get out. We don't know what happens to. I mean, I hope Dhoni's parents will be okay because they have been tested positive a couple of days. So I don't know what happens to Dhoni.
Honestly, if he leaves, I think his IPL is over.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to come back again to lead this team. I doubt it.
I think this is already his last IPL. I think
that's what I mean.
Especially with all the mega auction and everything, whether he
have you seen him struggling? I mean, I hate to watch him play the way he's playing. He's struggling.
He's struggling. Yes, I mean, he even dropped a sitter, straight, edge yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but I mean, he still has it. He just his, his brains and aura will probably take them all the way to the final, maybe even to the trophy this year.
They could do that, but he's only as a captain. But how long can you do that, captain?
Yeah,
that's the tough part.
I'm already seeing CSK beating RCB in the final in this situation. Hopefully it changes. That one game. Hope my predictions have been going wrong. I'll be happy to go wrong again.
I think that was a total aberration. I mean, winning and losing is two different things. I'm not worried about that. The way they lost was a total aberration.
I think they never show up. So I think in that way it's good. It's not that they put it all in and they still lost and then like dejected. It was like this day never existed. Something happened. Let's forget it.
They totally did not because and also what's with Virat Kohli not being able to convert those innings? I mean,
he's not even starting.
Yeah, true. That's true.
That one 10-wicket win, I don't think he's even got into double digits. I mean, I was thinking against Hyderabad, he struggled to get to that run, almost a run ball 30, which was ugly. But then I realized he crossed 2 digits against Hyderabad only because Sandeep Sharma was not bowling that day. Because Sandeep Sharma has got, I think he has the most number of times taken out.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, another thing, I think this is one, about the current COVID situation in India. And whoever is listening, hope everybody's families are safe. Stay safe. Maintain all the social distancing and masking and everything, please. On that note, I know there are some calls, obviously, about just stopping it. Not having this tournament. Why do you have it in these times? I don't know which is right or wrong. But I also agree with some players who came out and said that this is probably one way of keeping them entertained and staying, and have them stay home. I don't know how effective that is, but IPL is IPL, and I think it's not just the money and entertainment, but there are a lot other jobs, and there's economy, and again everybody is in their bubble. Players are safe. So it's not really harming anything. I don't think it's adding anything to COVID situation. So in that way, I'm okay. But if anyone has a different thought.
Yeah, Vinay, you go. Then I have some things I want to tell.
I mean, I think in a nutshell, I don't think there's a right answer here. It really takes me back to the whole conundrum back when the NBA formed a bubble to do the playoffs and the finals last year in the throes of COVID. They went to Disney World in Orlando and they had a bubble and stuff. I think both arguments are right? I think some people in the NBA were saying, for them it was different. It wasn't so much COVID. It was also like the social issues going on at the time and stuff. And they were saying that's detracting from the message and we should be focusing on that, etc. And then some others, they make the argument that, look, sports is what keeps the society's fabric together, and we need to, in tough times, have some entertainment. And to that, people will respond, oh, but we don't want to be like mice in a little game, being played. It's like, we are being used. We are also human beings. Like, why are we being used to provide entertainment for others, blah, blah, blah. But then for other people, they'll say, oh, for example, like Dhoni getting older, or in the NBA's case, like LeBron or this or that, it's like they have very finite chances to go win another tournament or ring or whatever it is that they want for their legacy. So you're spoiling an opportunity for them. And so it really just keeps going back and forth is what I'm trying to say. And I don't have a right answer or wrong answer to this. Who knows how safe the bubble is? At least we know in Disney World and Orlando, we knew that it was, definitely 100%, impenetrable. So like we knew their safety was number one and they took care of that. And if you have, opinions past that, then, but in India, it's difficult. Like you'd hope that everything is as safe as you want it to be, but you can never tell, right? It might be not as safe, or it's a little bit harder to kind of control that aspect of it. So I don't know, but I'm happy it's happening. And, I'd hope that people are given the choice and people don't feel, the players, don't feel forced, like I have to stay here because I need the money, or I need to perform because that's my next contract, or whatever. I hope everyone feels that they have the autonomy to make some sort of decision that they want to make for themselves, their family, and whatnot. And it seems to be that way. So I'm happy for them to keep playing, but I'm certainly not saying that that it doesn't invalidate the reasons for why they should call a tournament off, for instance. So I'm very much on the fence and agree with both sides. It's a difficult one.
Before coming to Somo, I think, like I said, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. And hey, if players complain that, hey, why am I being used as an entertainer? Well, you're getting paid a lot too. It's not charity, right? But then I think, but on the serious note, I think I'm glad that the teams and the board and everybody is also open about it, and also giving that freedom to the players. I don't think anybody is being forced to stay, like we already
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Including Ashwin. He tweeted himself soon after that last game, and thankfully before Bangalore, because he's been a nemesis against RCB. So as soon as I saw that Ashwin is not playing, I knew Bangalore is going to beat Delhi anyway. But then I think, including Australians and whoever it is, I think they've given the freedom, and everybody knows and understands the situation, and I don't think it will affect their future or next year's prospects, or even whether they get retained or not, it doesn't matter, because they will be bought by some other team anyway. But yeah, Somo.
Look, the reason I want this to continue for several reasons. One, though, they're all making good money. They're getting paid. Okay, that's one thing. Some of the older players, could be the last season, could be, whatever. That's one. Second thing. The other thing is, if I was in India and I am stuck home, I would rather be watching.
Exactly.
Okay. Honestly, the television is on. At least I have, I would rather stay home and people stay home, do whatever. That's a good thing. And if they were forced to play, if BCCI forced them, or the individual teams forced them to stay, then I say it's not fair. Like, there's a few players who left on their own, and Ashwin left on his own, whatever. And then if there's a valid reason, they are letting them go to do whatever they want to do out of respect. They should do. And the last point is, I think that bubble is pretty safe.
Yes. Yeah.
It looks like, again, I'm sitting here, I don't know. But if they would have gotten something, they would have gotten in this last month. Some would have probably seen something about it. That means they're all traveling in herds. They're coming back. They're going in. They're all doing. And the hotel, I'm sure anybody who is staying in that hotel, they're not being left to go wherever either, because they're protecting. Because this is a franchise of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose this billions of dollars.
Exactly.
Okay, they will never do that.
It's been quite safe. I mean, even last year we saw in UAE,
Yeah.
it was amazing. While
And mind you,
PSL and CPL had that issue.
let's say there's a COVID case eruption. Let's assume for a minute. I mean, hope it doesn't happen. It will not happen. I know that. Guess what? Before you know, it's next April. How many people are going to come and participate in this anymore? This could be a dead issue for some time.
Yeah.
Because international players, yaru baralla. Especially Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah. I mean,
they're very strict.
This is a huge litmus test for India to host this kind of a tournament, because everybody, the whole cricketing fraternity is watching this closely, because this is like a precursor to the T20 World Cup in October.
Correct. That's what I was going to say. Next door, if this is gone,
World Cup is out.
World Cup is out. There is no World Cup.
It's already told, the ICC has already said that if, this is a test to see how you will, and considering that this is already the worst, and I don't think, and I really hope and pray that it won't get worse than this in COVID situation terms. So October, November, hopefully will be much better.
Yeah. And mind you, illadre ninige 5 sites mabidu they were all running around this. T20 ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ. I mean, it has to be
one thing. We don't know yet. I mean, it's not publicized who made this, but I was looking at this IPL schedule, man. Whoever made this scheduling is a genius. I was analyzing just the teams, and I was visualizing how they are traveling, and it's the minimum possible travel. Like extra algorithms ella use ಮಾಡಿ least travel distance ella ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆ ತರ
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕಣ.
4 teams each in two. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ ಮುಂಬೈ and Chennai 10 games each ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. No more Mumbai and Chennai. Now it's Ahmedabad and Delhi. And then it will go to Bangalore and Kolkata, and then the playoffs in Ahmedabad, because again that's the neutral venue. Amazingly scheduled, with least number of travel possible, and 2 teams will always play all the games in that one venue. So like we saw, Mumbai stayed in Chennai stayed in Mumbai. Now Bangalore will stay in Kolkata will stay in Bangalore all the time. It's amazingly done. I don't know who did it and how they did.
But mind you, that T20 cannot be done the same way. There are more teams. Okay,
I mean, I think
more venues.
Something like this may not be as close knit like this, because they've already identified 6 venues. I think it's 8 venues. And but only thing is there's 16 teams.
That's not it. You double the number.
16 teams, 8 venues, versus 8 teams and 6 venues. Yes, it will be more complicated, but I think whoever did this will be in charge. He might have already been started to work, working.
Correct. Let's assume for a minute, if they call it off for whatever reason, even a genuinely very good reason, the T20 is in jeopardy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then,
let me ask this then: is it too late to shift to another venue, or is the World Cup gone for this year?
I think it's gone. Yaru prepare ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಣೋ. Logistically, it's impossible.
It's too late.
You have to go to UAE
stuff
again.
takes over a year to plan, and I mean, even back when they canceled our Australia tickets and stuff, it was like, what was it, 8 months in advance that they had already, or what, 6 to 8 months in advance, and it's not like they could have redone something, it was just.
We had the ticket in February or March for a November game.
But we bought the ticket in October, so it's October, 1 year and 1 month before.
Now I feel they should have. I think it's anyway, there's only six grounds in Australia. I think if they had shifted Australia to this year, and then India also shifted next year, would have been a better situation.
Correct.
But you never know. I mean, maybe India will handle it. Who knows? I mean, if they can.
But ninge logistically, that is so much. If they cannot do with 8 teams, they're going to say, hey, you're not going to do with 16. And mind you, and also the number of umpires. Okay, everything is exponentially double.
Yeah, exactly. Because
it's clearly double.
They cannot have multiple games in same day if they don't have enough umpires.
Right.
and then broadcasting, whatever it is, right? So yeah, it's going to be a bigger challenge. But you know what?
Look, I mean,
I
if
was
I have to
never a fan of having back-to-back World Cups anyway. So
ಅಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನೀವನ್ನ if I had the money to put it in, whether it's going to happen, I may think twice before I put my dollar in, because it's just not that easy.
Yeah, possible.
Even now, it's what, May now, April, August, May, June, July, August, September, October.
5 more months.
Less 5 more, actually 5 months actually.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, I think Indian domestic season is out completely.
Indian domestic is out.
Is out.
I don't know how the situation is in England is to see what the WTC final.
ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಗೆ ಅವರ ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ it's getting a little bit better. In England it's getting better. Sure. It's not, and
it's
also mind
that's
you,
easy because it's 2 teams, 1 test, 1 venue. It's very, you just do it quick and you're done.
Yeah, I think bilaterals are much more easier than these.
Yeah.
They don't have to have spectators either. They can just play and broadcast it. So that one's easy, and then you can figure out the bilaterals too.
English domestic season is going fine now.
Going fine. That's going fine.
I mean, even I think there are some foreign players already playing there. Some of the test specialists.
ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾನೋ, ಇನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿನೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಲಭ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. India is the toughest because the number of people and the close proximity of everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just population numbers, but the density as well.
Density
Remember Zampa was even saying he wishes that they had this in the UAE again and not India, because he would have thought that would have been easier, better, safer.
No, you know what? I'll take that back. My previous question, I think I'll answer it myself. That I mean, if worst case, if India cannot host this World Cup, the only place they can actually put it is UAE. I mean,
but 3 venues.
I won't be surprised if UAE.
I'll tell you,
you don't have enough pitches. But, if you're doing 2 games a day every day.
Look, if they have to, they can move to Australia somehow, somewhere.
I don't think Australia will agree for that.
No. I know. No, what I mean is, that's what they have to do if they really want to do it. Because we know that England cannot because winter. Okay. West Indies cannot because they travel.
Because they have 3 very good grounds and are quite close to each other. It might be. I think logistically, it's the best place to have it.
Best place to do it.
It's just not enough pitches,
then
though. Think about it.
Predictability and varying of pitches, over the period, because there's only three. Yeah, I mean, but it may not be of the highest quality cricket, but can it be done? Yes.
Yeah.
Will they do it? Definitely not, in my opinion.
Okay.
Agala.
All right.
But I will say I'm really happy with the way that BCCI has handled this whole situation, and even their statement saying IPL has not ended until the last person is safely back in their home country, and we will make sure of that and everything. So as far as I'm concerned, I think they've handled it from a PR perspective extremely well, and I mean, I'm happy with the way that they've.
You know what? There are two people who are responsible. Except forget about the BCCI big. You know what? Brijesh Patel and Saurav Ganguly.
That's it. Yeah.
They're the 2 handling the entire thing. I'll give them credit. I tell you.
Absolutely. Yeah, good or bad. I mean, I think it's on them. I mean, if it all goes well, yes, all credit to them. If something happens, yes, it's the situation and the circumstances, whatever you can blame. I think if you have to put a face to it, again, it will be Ganguly and Brijesh Patel.
Yeah, I tell you, as far as I know, they have handled it extremely well.
Yeah, I think so.
And they're not making, they're not coming out and saying things in the television of bragging about anything. They're just going about their business, doing whatever behind the scene.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I like about that. And even, you know what, the other thing I like? All the commentators, all these things, they are making a really good announcement. Stay home, did it, watch this, what. The public announcements are extremely well done.
Not happened in the first week, though.
Yeah.
They started it after.
Yeah. When it ramped up,
it was a PR reaction. And
PR reaction.
Proactive message. I wanted to see it from day one, but I mean, maybe they thought, let's not get into this, preaching or politics or whatever.
No, not only that. psychologically you're creating something which is not there in everybody's mind at that time.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? See that you're really, ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, keep distance, wash your face, don't go out. I mean, they're really doing a phenomenal job. If I was watching in there, I said, wait a minute, oh my God, I cannot go. So I think they do.
And also all the other staff members, including the groundsmen and the ball picking or whatever, even the cops, they have been given extremely detailed instructions, because I saw in one place the ball went to the boundary and it just came close. It just came close to this cop who did not touch the ball. One guy tried to pick it up and the other guy said, no, don't touch it. And he pulled his shirt back.
And mind you,
they're all wearing masks. And
when a long six is hit, they're not going picking up the ball right now. They're ready with the balls.
Yeah, if it's easy to get it, the players and the bubble participants can get it. If not, it's just.
And in the box it's not locked. They don't open that. They come and show it to the guy. Umpire opens it.
Yeah,
that's pretty secure.
And they have multiple balls of each over.
Yeah. I mean, the 16th over, 17th. I think they have like 5 boxes of each in every venue. I think, the more you seriously look into, watch what's going on, if you're a serious cricketer and you and I watch and know the rules, for somebody, they may not understand that. You look at it, I looked at it, my goodness, look at that. And the guy who brings in is not opening and giving the ball.
And oh my God, we have to call this out and give credit to these local domestic Indian umpires. How good is the umpiring standard this time? Amazing. I'm not boasting. I'm not, we are not, whoever is listening, we are not talking about them just because we are Indians, but amazing. It's been a fantastic umpiring. Yes, there will be some human honest errors, but including England series, especially one guy, Nitin Menon. You did anyone see the statistics? It was less than 5% of his decisions have been recalled by the DRS. Amazing.
You know what? I mean, from a cricketer standpoint, I'm watching almost every ball. Yeah. And some of the not outs and outs, yes. I thought, bida, idu, definitely out. Yeah. I mean, I tell you, that is, unbelievable. It's for somebody who has played some cricket and knows what's going on. I felt you can do it. But they did a phenomenal job of it, I tell you. I'm really...
How? Because historically, we never had such kind of an elite class Indian umpires, apparently, compared to many other countries. But this time, I think when everything is normal, we will see couple of new Indian faces in that elite panel for sure. This has been amazing.
That Shamshuddin is good and that Ravi is good.
Ravi has always been good, but this Nitin Menon is
probably the outstanding one.
Yeah. And Ananta Padmanabhan. He's
my God, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody. I don't think Vinay remembers. I used to follow him during 90s Ranji era. He was a Kerala spinner, lone fighter.
Yeah.
Kerala was never in the picture at that time, but
they didn't even make the South Zone semifinals anyway. So having said that, I tell you, when you watch all those things, the standard of umpiring is absolutely the best.
Yeah.
But
I honestly, I don't know if I can say the same about the standard of cricket so far compared to last year. Actually, I think the UAE IPL was one of the best fought IPL in terms of, because as you see, yes, Mumbai and Delhi were quite ahead, but until the last set of games, like when everybody has played 12 or 13 games, except for Chennai, all 7 teams were in the competition.
Yeah.
You still had to make some calculations and say, if this team beats that and that happens, this time we are already seeing the top 3 are running away.
Everybody has the same rule. But you know why it is like that? The first day, let's say they play the cricket today, okay? You assume something is going to happen. The wicket is going to do this way. The dew is going to be starting this way. That's not happening. Every day it is changing, especially in the Ahmedabad. Yenaito? Gota? Adu you're not. They stopped the game yesterday or something like day before. But the dew is starting to come earlier and earlier.
But sand set admele, obviously there will be no dew.
Correct. Next day ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Next ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? ಡ್ಯೂನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. So I think the calculation of putting them to bat first or batting first is it's dicey, very dicey. What do you think may not happen at all?
Okay, on that note, actually, I mean, I think we can have a whole new, separate episode on this dew factor that is affecting the results. But I'm happy to not, I'm actually happy to not see dew at all, because I mean, if you are planning and if you are taking the decisions and selecting your team based on dew, I think it's a very negative approach already. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you can call it smart because you are thinking about it and saying, okay, getting that into the picture, but you cannot blame and say, we lost it because there was no dew.
No, I don't think anybody is blaming. But the thing is, what I mean to say is not blame anything. You don't know whether it's the dew is there or not. When it starts, how bad it is, that is the one nobody is able to predict.
Yeah.
That's why the standard of cricket has gone a little lower.
How can we stop, dew becoming a deciding factor? Is it even possible, or is
ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಗದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಚಪ್ರ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ ಮೇಲೆ.
ಅವಾಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವೆಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಬೀಳಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ, I mean, I think it will sweat more, right? ಅವಾಗ
No, it will sweat more in the sense the ball doesn't get wet that much because the water is not pouring. It's literally now in Ahmedabad ಮೊನ್ನೆ you couldn't even see.
What about balls? Making
it will be, but it won't be that bad. It won't be that bad. I mean, you can wipe it with water. See, you're dipping in water versus your sweat. That's kind of a difference you got.
Allah, why can't we produce better balls that can withstand this dew effect?
First of all, white balls are vulnerable. They're not red balls. Pink and white are not, obviously they're not attaining the level of consistency of a red ball. That's one thing. Second thing is, with water and leather, you know how it is. There's nothing you can do about it.
Becomes ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋ soap ತರ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ.
Soft though. It's very soft. Very soft though. It just becomes very ಕಷ್ಟ ಅದು. See, ಮುಂಚೆ I don't know whether ನಿನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವಿನಯ್ ಅಂತೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ನಿನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಮುಂಚೆ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಕೆಟ್ were uncovered and they used to play. I mean, Derek Underwood and the left-arm spinner, you might have heard about. Go back and look at it. He's a 260, 270 test wickets on. Jora left-arm spinner. He was never fighting the ball. Wonderful bowler. Underwood got a lot of wickets for England. And if it rains, Underwood have 6 wickets, guaranteed. See, it was tough. Quality. I mean, it was completely different. I mean, those are the things which you have to remember. It's not easy.
Is at least one of the brand better than the other, between like Kookaburra or SG or something? Why can't we just make it universal?
Everybody has a different thing. Duke balls are supposed to be the best in England. The seam is a little high. Right. But
I mean, if Duke can handle the Duke better,
correct.
Maybe we should just use Duke all over.
But they don't make white balls. Kookaburra is the only one who makes white balls. You're ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ Duke. The quality is not that. International approval ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕಿನ್ನು. Duke balls don't have the. I think both pink and white. Kookaburra is the leader.
All right. I think we have we have identified another exclusive edition very soon about the balls and dew. Maybe we can bring in someone like Prashant or other expert who can give us more insight on that.
You know what, Prashant would be a good one. How it affects the playing wicket, how it affects the outfield. Because ಅವರು ಹಗ್ಗ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀರು ಎಳಿತಾರೆ ನೋಡು. I mean, they're trying to ಪಡ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. But it is
ನೆನ್ನೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಅಹಮದಾಬಾದ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಈ ದ್ರಾವಿಡೆಸ್ಕ್ ಬೌಂಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, that goes all the way on the ground.
Yeah.
Did you see the
rotation?
ಡ್ಯೂ ಹಾರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಬಾಲ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹಾರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ವೈಟ್ ಥಿನ್
rotation ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
ಅದೊಂಥರ ಈ ಜೆಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅದು ಸಕದಾಗ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು.
And but I tell you, some of the strokes they have been power of, it's unbelievable kind of how they generate those powers. I've never seen it. I've been seeing it now in this tournament, this IPL rather. My goodness. I mean, not the sixes. I'm not talking about the Gale sixes. The cover drives, the on drive.
What do you think of Prithvi Shaw today?
Oh my God. I tell you. You know, honestly, see, like maybe I'm so biased in my opinion. I still think he's so vulnerable. He can get out. You cannot guarantee after a good solid 30 or 40 or 50, he's gonna stay the next week, next over, the following over.
I don't know about his temperament though. I mean, if he, I want to see him, perform when he's the only batsman, is like 6 down and you still need like 30 runs out of last 15 balls, and how do you farm the strike, how do you manage the strokes, and run 1 and 2 or whatever, right? I mean,
I would, you know what, I wouldn't want him batting right now, in my opinion. I wouldn't want him. I would have somebody else.
I still feel, and Vinod has been very vocal about it in Facebook as well, if you guys have seen him, and I totally agree with him as well. As much as I like to see Prithvi Shaw sometimes batting, I just hope that he's not picked for the World Cup though. Because we already have too many openers, and if you really want a fresh opener outside the Rohits, Rahuls, and Dhawans, I would rather have Ruturaj or Devdutt ahead of Prithvi Shaw.
Yep.
I would have Devdutt for the simple reason he's left-hander. Even Rana is pretty good. He has to tell him to don't hit the stupid. He had a beautiful 6. But Rana is pretty good. As a matter of fact, I like him the way he bats. He bludgeons the ball to, my goodness. So no, I wouldn't even pick. I wouldn't even pick. Dhawan anyway.
Dhawan, I'm almost changing my mind about Dhawan, for at least for this one World Cup. I mean, because it's only 5 months away. He's in red hot form, and I think more than form. I mean, he can always get back to form. I think just that his mental space, I think he's more clear, and I think he's now, compared to last couple of years.
You know why I won't pick him? Not because he's bad or whatever. I'm looking forward, and somebody is quite equal to Shikhar in the number of batsmen that we have in the country.
Yeah.
That's why I would not pick.
Yeah,
not because the same 30, 40, 50, somebody can get those things.
Yeah.
Not another. Okay. So younger guy, you know what? He has 1 World Cup under his belt already. That will serve him well for the future years.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm looking at it.
All right. Yeah, we passed 7:30, so I think we can wrap it up. I think I covered all the topics that I had written up this week. If you guys have anything else, if not, we will end this session with prediction. So, as we said, I don't think anybody is in the mood to bring any one of the top 3 to the bottom 4. So, assuming Delhi, Chennai, and Bangalore are qualifying, who's the 4th team? Vinay?
I'll keep going with Punjab. I'm going to be stubborn about that.
All right. Savana?
Not Mumbai.
I hope so too. I mean, they're a great team, no doubt. I just want some change. I mean, I just wanted Chennai also to not qualify this time, because I just want someone other than Mumbai or Chennai. But if Mumbai and Chennai both qualify, we a 90% chance that those 2 will be in the final again. But
you know what? I'm not so sure about Chennai, to be honest with you. They're playing great cricket, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking, people, 1 bad loss, that will topple everything, in my opinion. One bad loss.
Mumbai and Chennai have not played to each other yet, and that's coming this weekend, and that might as well decide the fate of one of them. Because Mumbai beating Chennai would just give them that trigger that they wanted to proceed now. Maybe Chennai will just bury them. Who knows?
So are you saying then that Mumbai and Chennai will play the 2 games about almost not next to each other, but in the short span of time? Because everybody has to play everybody.
Yeah, so Mumbai and Chennai are playing this weekend. This Saturday,
Also,
it's the first one. And I think, and their second one, I'm not sure. No, the second leg is in Bangalore. So that will be a great game.
that'll
Yeah,
be good.
it can be a 200 versus 200 game. If
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping Mumbai will not be there. I am honestly, I'm rooting for Calcutta. For some reason, I'm rooting for Calcutta. They're a good team. They're just not.
I know. I think they still have a great team. It's just that the batting order and something is not clicking. Because Morgan can bring it back. I have a feeling KKR can come in too, but my heart wants Punjab to come up. But overall, I cannot rule out Mumbai at this time yet. I mean, it's because they have done this before many times, not just once. Having a mediocre first half and then just blowing everything in the second half and
Look, yeah, I'll tell you why it's difficult for them to make it. Okay, Surya is fumbling a little. Okay, and Hardik is not going to get any more runs. I mean, he's done. Chahar, you got his 10, 11 wickets, and that's pretty much over. Krunal, yeah, he has gotten his share of first thing. He's done. Yeah. It's very hard. It's very hard.
All right, Punjab or KKR? Let's see then.
Yeah.
Cool. With that, we have a mouth-watering game tomorrow. Punjab and Bangalore.
I'm rooting for. I hate to say this. I want Punjab to win.
Me too, because I feel like Bangalore will qualify anyway, and I think Punjab needs this more than Bangalore tomorrow. And guess what? Bangalore Punjab will play again within a week now. So Bangalore and Punjab are going to play 2 games in a week. So,
2-0 Punjab will be nice.
Yeah, 2-0 or maybe 1-1. In that way, both Kumble and Kohli are happy, and who knows. But yeah, with that, we'll end this, and hopefully we'll see you again next week, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and see you all. Bye.
Okay. Hey, Kalmar.